Hi everyone. This is going to be, I guess, the second episode of a week in review. I forget whatever I called it. It will be the same title as the previous one. It'll just be called episode 2. So basically, this is from 3:14 to today, 3:20, because I'm going to do a little workout today. But I figured I'd do the week in review because today all I am doing is some shoulder stuff, some like light shoulder stuff like lateral raises, some calf stuff, and a little bit of cardio. So nothing that's earth shattering. It's just some accessory work that excuse me, that sorry, that I didn't want to really do yesterday because I was just running out of time. My friends wanted to go get some Chipotle, and my friend offered to give me free Chipotle if I edited some of his videos because he's in exercise science and he had to record some stuff for a project. And he was like, "Hey, if you edit these videos, I'll buy you Chipotle." And of course, why wouldn't I go get some free Chipotle? And what is really nice too is since I'm on a cut, I'm actually tracking my calories and macros and whatnot. I guess by default, since I'm tracking, I enter all my food in. The chicken bowl that I got only had 600 calories. It had quite a bit of sodium, but it was only 600 calories. And one of the things we discussed with my friends, my one friend, Brendan, the black guy that's in a lot of my videos that spots me with the beautiful afro of hair, he mentioned that he actually took his Chipotle bowl one day and went and measured out all the ingredients and found that he got like 750 calories out of all of it. So whatever the MyFitnessPal, the tracker that I'm using, is probably not 100% accurate for a chicken bowl. And one of the theories that we came up with to why he may have gotten more than like the default 600 is because we go in there and it sounds so narcissistic, but we're bigger. We look like we lift. We're guys we're bigger guys. We go in there, whether it's me, him, or my other friend Jake that was there, and subconsciously or consciously, those people just give us more food when we're there. So we're probably getting more than the additional 600 versus someone who is smaller or younger. They probably get closer to that 600, or I would assume not below. But that's my theory. So maybe I was a little bit over it, but then again, who knows? One of the things on MyFitnessPal that I'm not tracking is the exercise. I put that all in photocracy because I've been using that for a while now, and it's much easier to use. It's much more user friendly than trying to go switch to MyFitnessPal. Plus, I have not like a huge following, but I do have people that look at the stuff on photocracy, and I don't want to make that switch. Simply for that reason, I have a lot of information on there, and their analytics work a lot better, at least from when I use it. But on MyFitnessPal, you can track exercise, and that it does factor in what you eat and stuff. But I assume it's like 2,100 calories, or it's 21 and some change for what it's recommending for me if I want to lose weight. And I'm trying to stay a little bit under it. If I go, right at it or a little bit above, I'm not that concerned because that again, I'm not factoring the exercise. So obviously, when I lift and do a cardio and whatnot, it's going to factor into how many calories I burn, or how many calories I would be allowed to have in a day. And I'm someone too who I don't have very much body fat, so my effect or the amount of calories that I may need to have to be in a deficit is probably greater than the average person. So me staying right at that number I think is good because then whatever I burn in a day from working out is going to be in addition to that. But getting back to my workouts and stuff, on Monday, as many of you seen, I've been posting a lot, and the reason for that is simply because it's very easy to edit the shorter clips in my videos. And what I've been doing is I'll record the videos for the day, and then I'll edit either like reps or one set, and then put some of that on Instagram because that will render in the video program that I use in like 15 seconds. It's very simple to use, and then uploading because they're very small files. And the same thing. Once I do all the Instagram posts, I usually do it all at once because it takes a couple minutes. It's not really that hard of work at all. I will then let the longer videos render. So the videos that are a minute or two or three, I'll edit those real down real quick and render those. And then I have like a catalog. I have like 6 or 7 videos that are just sitting there waiting to be uploaded. And the big reason I don't try to upload a couple times, upload a couple of them a day or whatever, is just I don't want to inundate my YouTube page with a bunch of workout videos. I kind of want to spread it out because I think that will work better, and it's not as, I don't think any of you want to watch 3 different videos of me working out every single day. And I don't want to have my internet run slow 3 different times every single day. Having one video upload when I go to bed and then posting it in the morning is probably the best way for me to do. Today I'm posting 2 videos. simply because I'm going to be at working at my rec center for a little bit. So I'll have two videos. Actually, probably now that I say that, I'll have two workout videos, and then sorry, my eye is really itchy for no reason at all. But then I'll have this weekly update video to post along as well. So I don't know. I just kind of like playing around with it, and I'm still experimenting with how I want to do uploads and stuff. And you see some of my videos have music, some of them don't. A lot of that is a function of sometimes I like what I hear in the gym audio with like my comments or my friends' comments or this or that, and it's also a function of me not being able to find um, music that I like. I don't just there's lots of copyright free music that I can use, but there's not a lot of it that I like. My very particular taste, so it's a tricky thing as well. And plus, with some videos that are a minute long, I have to find one part of a song to play, not the entire song. Or some videos too long, then I have to find two parts of the song, even if I like a song or whatever. But that's more non-workout stuff. So on the Monday, I did some squat variations. You saw box squats and Anderson squats. So I got my beautiful workout notebook below me to where I write everything down, and then I transfer it into my computer, which I'll be using for photography almost exclusively now. I had Excel sheets that I had, but to me it started to seem kind of redundant to use it, and plus photography was able to track, like it told you PRs and stuff like that, and you could look at the history much. I mean, essentially it was like an Excel sheet again. So I probably won't be using Excel sheets. Not that I didn't really share them or anything, but if you want to see my workouts and the specifics, you can look at that on photography and see those. But I had box squats, Anderson squats, which I just posted a video of Anderson squats that I did on Monday, so you can see I'm backed up a little bit on my videos. Rack pulls, sumo, so all that kind of stuff. So I'm still in kind of the variation phase, and probably the biggest thing I'm happy with the kind of movements that I'm doing is the rack pulls. And many of you, some of you have pointed out that it's kind of like difficult for me where I'm doing it now to like re-rack it and do multiple reps. And I completely agree. I had a rep where I missed on the one side, and thankfully I was using straps, so I was able to flip the weight back up onto the rack or whatever. But in the future, the reason why I use those is because there's one squat cage that's being used, and generally I'll do sumo deadlift or some deadlift variation prior to doing rack pulls, and it's hard. I feel bad doing it in the squat rack because, or by the squat rack, because that's the only one that's there, and a lot of people will use it. Well, I would say a lot. Most people use it for squats. Some people use it for stupid stuff. But if I would do the deadlifts over there, one, it's a more cramped area, and two, I would have to like jimmy the weights into the squat rack and then pull them onto the squat rack. So it would be I basically have to strip off all the weight and then put it onto the bars things. But I will be trying to do that in the future because, as some of you pointed out, it'd be much easier to do rack pulls from there than it would be from the current position that I'm at. The only part that's tricky is that even at its lowest setting, it's not as low as I'd want it to do, and I'm have to be consistently putting stuff under my feet so I can get the bar lower on me. Eventually, I'll just be able to put stuff, not blocks, because the weight room doesn't have any, and I'm graduating in the first week of May, so I'm not going to be making anything to use for a month. But I'll use like 45s. I think if any of you have been following me for a while, I used to do block pulls off red bumper plates, and I'll probably get back to doing those in a while. Just not right now. I kind of like the higher rack pulls for now because I'm able to really work my back, and I feel like it's really beneficial towards keeping my back straight and to strengthening my back with very heavy weights relative to what I can deadlift. And to kind of move on, we'll move on to day two. Let's see, I did 255 on Wednesday. Oh, Tuesday I didn't actually lift. I drove home and I was visiting with my grandma who recently had heart surgery. She's doing fine and everything. But that day I actually didn't lift, which is weird for me because I always lift even if I went home. I actually got back. I could have lifted. I just would have got back really late, and I just was like, I just don't really feel like it. So I just pushed everything back a day. So on Wednesday I did all my chest stuff, which normally is like a extra accessory day where I just do whatever I feel like I need to do, which for me, one of my big focuses with all my upper body stuff now will be a lot of extra tricep work as much as I can handle. Obviously I don't want to mess up my elbows or to aggravate them at all, so I will be being conscious of that. But I want to definitely keep doing more tricep work because that's where I feel like I'm weakest, especially my left one relative to my right one is weaker, which is very annoying, especially when I'm doing overhead tricep extensions. I notice like my left one will get one less rep if I would do my right one first. But I always have to do my left one first because I'm OCD like that. If I do 7 on this side and 8 on this side, it can't work. And long term wise, it wouldn't work because then the imbalance would become even more pronounced than it already is. I was able to get back to doing dips, weighted dips, which I really like to do. It's probably my favorite accessory movement for triceps. I hadn't been able to do it for a while because of the like bicep tendonitis that I was having in there, and it was just kind of aggravating it. So I figured out, and I actually had a weird thing. Like my inner chest was hurting when I was doing them, but then I like pinched my scaps back and kept them in that pinch position, and then my chest was good, and now my chest feels fine. And I did body weight dips yesterday, but I did them without any pain. So I think for me, that's going to be a big thing is to focus on pinching my scaps back for whatever reason that takes the strain off the inner part of my chest where I had it kind of a minor strain before. And I definitely want to keep doing dips, so that's something that I need to pay attention to. Nothing else that's really significant. We'll move to blank page and then to Thursday when I did lots of squats, lots and lots of squats. Thursday and Friday I did lots of squats. On Thursday, I will be posting a video later today of I did 355 and 335 and 315. John Allen, as I'm sure many of you watch me, also watch him, but he pretty consistently watches me, which kudos to him. He left a comment on my one video where I did a full acid grass squat, and he said that's the depth you need to have for a competition. Now, for me, I wouldn't be able to hit anywhere near the squat numbers I would be able to hit normally if I went that far low, although that would be easily depth for a competition. But what I wanted to do, if any of you looked at my mock meet, I think all my lifts are good as far as like parallel goes. If they were being called in a competition, they would be. I don't think I would get red lighted, but they were to the point where like my first two, I could have definitely gone lower just to make it so there's no question at all with it. And like I believe I mentioned this before, but my goal for my powerlifting meet on April 16th is to have my first rep on all my attempts to be like an easy one that I'm for sure gonna get no issue at all, and to have my second attempt to be the one that's going to qualify me for various things. So I'm good for the meet in July, and then the last one to be like PRs for everything, and that's where I want to try 600 for a deadlift. And the only thing that will make my deadlift attempt on my third one different is I will talk to the people there because I googled like the state record for deadlifts, and it's like 606 I think for the 181. So I will be talking to the people there because you have to go up by certain increments as per the rules unless you're going for a state record. So if there's a state record that's like 606, then I'll go up and try 607 and just go for that attempt, assuming that I got my second attempt in that, because if I can do 600, I could probably do about 608. Maybe I can't, but I might as well try a record because I think that'd be pretty cool to get. But that's basically what I want to do for my attempts in that. So I'll be working towards being able to do that for the meet. I think I'll be able to because I did 585, and the big thing for me is just to keep getting stronger, which thankfully I'm still a beginner, so I'll be having that. I also did some power cleans. I worked up to 225 for a double. I took a lot of time in between for those just because I'm not a CrossFit guy. But I actually have that video. I'll be posting it probably later this week, maybe tomorrow. And I was really happy with my form and how it's shaping up. I hadn't done them for heavy weight for a while, and for me that's very close to my one rep max of 245. So for me, the biggest thing that's going to hold me back on power cleans is just getting the weight onto my shoulders, because I can front squat 265. I did that like with like a deep rep, and then I did 275 as well with a deep rep, but that was a huge grind. So even if I would flip that onto my shoulders, it'd be quite a difficult way to attempt. And then because I was very tired on Thursday, I actually split my workout into two parts. I did all my squat movements and then like one back exercise as well as some cardio on Thursday, and then I did my deadlift work on Friday, and I did that and the other back assistance exercises that I had. So I had on Thursday I had squats and power cleans, and then Friday I had deficit pulls and block pulls. You'll be seeing, and all of you, if you are so curious to see like more real-time posting of the various exercises that I do, you can look at my Instagram. I do post those generally the day of or the next day of my workouts, and I post quite a bit on there with workout clips and stuff. So if you're curious to see, like basically what I have on YouTube is what I have on Instagram as well. But I post all my reps, or at least most of my reps, on YouTube because that's what I want to do. And so if you want to see more real time, you can see the Instagram and see on there. And if you follow me, I'll follow you back. Especially if I know you from here, I'll definitely follow and like all your pictures because I'll show you some love on there. But let's see, I went and I did that, and then Friday I did my deadlift variations, and because I was feeling frisky, I decided to work to a heavy single on squats. I decided to work to three. My goal was 355 because in the previous one I did 345 as like an ass to grass squat, and I was able to get that. And like I've been saying, I'll post that video later this week. I have it sitting on my computer, and I will upload that because it's there. And if you look at my Instagram, if you look at my Instagram, you can see I have the rep on there as well, just the 355. When I post a video, I'll have the couple attempts around there. But I was very happy with how I was able to get it. Brendan mentioned how it looked better than my 335 because I went from 335 to 355. He mentioned how it looked better from those two reps, which they both felt really difficult, and I did them both high bar as well, which for me, I tend to bend forward when I struggle, or tend to bend back. Actually, I don't know. I do all kinds of weird things when I squat. I feel like I bend forward when I do high bar heavy squats, but sometimes that was a weird noise. But sometimes I sit back more, or my shins move and like go back. So I do all kinds of weird things, and if any of you have seen previous squat videos, you can see it's kind of it looks weird, but somehow I get the weight up. And for me personally, I don't really feel it when I like lean back when I have a low bar, or if my shins shoot back right away, or any of that stuff. And I don't think it's necessarily bad mechanically. I think it's just my body getting into the most efficient pushing motion from that bottom part of it. And I don't, like I said, I don't try to do any of that stuff. It just is what my body does. And I think I have a good enough squat to where it's not going to be mechanically disadvantaged. Maybe I'll have to fix some of that stuff in the future, but I don't think it's anything that I should be worrying about. So on Friday, I had the deadlift variations, the squat variations, and that all went very well. I'm very happy with how my legs and my squats in particular are progressing, and how the heavier weights over 300 pounds and 355 and like all that is starting to feel. The one thing I will mention on Thursday is because John Allen mentioned the stuff from my previous leg workout video about how I should get lower. I, like I said before, I think I was low enough in my mock meet that I wouldn't have been red lighted. If any of you disagree, you can go and look and tell me that I'm wrong. But I think I was low enough that I went based on like my hips to my thighs or whatnot, based on like what I've seen as the metrics for the measure. But he also, or well, I brought up to him and he agreed that it's not going to hurt to work below to where you need to be for a competition. And for me, it made sense. Like there's no reason for me not to like really bury every rep that I'm doing in training, because not only is that going to allow me to have the better range of motion, it's going to have a more of a strength effect, because the eccentric motion, the longer that is, the better strength you have, and that's a more important part of the lifts. And it's not gonna hurt. It's not gonna make me weaker, and that's the big thing too. The thing is why I don't do like really deep squats with low bar. It's just difficult because of the bar position to go like ass to grass with it. I don't think I really could, because the limiting factor for me for my depth is not my ankle mobility, which is what Brendan actually mentioned is very unique. Is that I have basically unlimited ankle mobility. Like I can sit in like a squat position with my heels on the ground pretty comfortably. What limits me is my hip flexor and hip mobility in general, which is something that I'm trying to work on. It's something I'll probably always have to work on. It's just the nature of my genetics that I don't think I'm not necessarily unflexible, but I just have naturally flexible ankles and less flexible hips. And I think that my hips are actually flexible, but they get overshadowed by the fact that my ankles are like oddly really flexible. And why that is, that could be from rolling my ankles or spraining it a number of times and doing weird things to it, or what. I don't know. But I did have a weird instance before. It was my sophomore year, so 2 years ago. Before I had my knee scoped, I was playing basketball and I was walking backwards, and I shouldn't have been playing basketball because I was right before probably a month before I got my knee scope, and my dad had advised me to not do anything. And he was a former athletic trainer and stuff, and he was basically like, "Don't do anything and like rest it," and because you have a messed up knee. But I was playing like a really light game of basketball, and I was just walking backwards. A half court game, I was walking backwards, and I rolled my ankle, and it was the worst sprain I've ever had in my life. It was bizarre because I was just walking, and I probably tore some ligaments. I probably did some pretty serious damage, but I didn't want to tell my parents because obviously I shouldn't have been doing anything, and I didn't want to be lectured on like why are you doing something when you shouldn't have been doing something. So I just kind of went about it, and like the next day, I couldn't even walk because it was a Friday that it happened. The Saturday, I couldn't even go to breakfast because I couldn't walk and I didn't have crutches to walk on. So I had to lay in my room and ice my ankle. And over the next couple of days, I was able to get out and move a little bit. But for months, I had a really tight Achilles tendon, and like that squat position, getting down, it was not painful. It was just tight. It was very, very tight for months and months and months. And that's why I think I probably messed up something in my Achilles. But ironically, it doesn't affect me at all now. And as you see in my squats, my ankle mobility is above average for the average person. So thankfully, I was able to get past that. I don't know why I was able to get past that, but thankfully I have been, and I don't have any sort of ankle issues now. But moving on, so I mentioned the squats that I did, how I went lower with a low bar, and you'll see that in the video that I posted today that I tried to go lower with my low bar. It isn't consistent depth, but I do get lower consistently, if that makes any sense. The exact level is not consistent, but I was lower consistently there. That makes a little bit more sense to me. Yesterday, on Saturday, I did overhead press first, and I wanted to mix that in, and you'll see that video later this week. But you can also see some of my last reps on Instagram as well. But I did 125, 135, 145, and those all felt surprisingly good, and I was very happy with how it felt. The big thing was doing it first without being fatigued. It helped a lot. And then I moved on to I wanted to do a heavy rep or a heavy single on the bench. I did all the way to 275 successfully. I tried 285 and I failed that. Wasn't surprising seeing how I did a bunch of, I went from 245, 265, 275, then I tried 285. I wasn't expecting to get it. I just wanted to try to see if I could grind it out before I did my working sets, because my working sets were all close grip at 225 and I did 3 sets of 5 and those felt wonderful. I just had other variations, nothing significant. If you're all curious to see what various accessory movements I do in the total workouts, you can always go to, like I mentioned before, the photography, and I believe it's linked in the description. If it's not, then just let me know, and I'll throw a link in there. But I'm 99% sure that it's in there. And that's basically it I have written for today. Or written for this week. Basically today, what I want to do is, like I mentioned, wow, there's no weird noise. My nose is like randomly stuffy. But shoulder stuff, calf stuff, and then some cardio stuff. My current body weight is floating at like 189, 190 in the morning, sometimes 188, but really like 188 to 190 in the morning. And I want to continue to diet down and see how low I can get. Sorry, I have like phlegm in my throat. But obviously my goal is still to get down to 181 by April 16th for the meet. And later this week I'll be signing up for the meet, so I'll be solidifying that with a check that I will be getting down to 181. But I think I'm close enough now to, if I would have to do some kind of crazy crash diet, I could. But I definitely want to get down to like that 185 mark or 184, to where if I'm a couple days before, I can cut down in a healthy way that couple extra pounds to that 181, and then be able to just eat and be back to that normal weight. So it's only a couple more pounds, and I have like a month to do it. So I should be good to go. I'm paying attention to what I'm eating a lot more now because I'm tracking it. So hopefully I'm able to do that. If I get closer, like a couple weeks out, and I'm still like at this body weight, I'll be upping the cardio and eating less and trying to be a little more extreme when I'm doing. I'm trying not to do anything too extreme right now, because if I can lose weight at my current work capacity and eating capacity, then I would like to do that and not have to worry about doing anything too extreme. But that's really about it that I have for this week. I reviewed just about everything that I did this week, and there's nothing too significant. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to share with you all. Not really. This next week, or I will. The last thing I actually will mention next week. What I want to do for my three main lifts is to work to a heavy single. So on Monday, I want to work to a heavy single on a squat, and then do some working sets. And then Tuesday, heavy bench, work to, and then go down and do working sets. And the same with deadlifts on Thursday, work to a heavy single, and then go down. I haven't decided yet if I want to do deadlifts first on Thursday. I'll probably end up doing some squat stuff first, and then deadlift stuff. Um, just because that's how I like training now because it's more specific to powerlifting. Perhaps I'll do deadlifts first. I haven't decided that. I'll decide that today when I do my workouts, and you can see that all next week in real time on my Instagram, and then delayed obviously later on YouTube. I'll be sharing all this stuff. So if you have any thoughts or comments about anything I talked about or of my programming or any of that, I guess I haven't talked about the specifics of my programming. A lot of it I do for my heavy sets like squats and deadlifts and bench and that sort of stuff. I've been doing lower reps with heavier weights, trying to do around 5 reps. I'm staying in that range. I'll be moving down eventually, but I want to stay kind of in that 5 rep range. And this whole time up into my meet, I kind of want to stay in more of a strength cycle in those kind of lower rep ranges to really try to just work with heavy weights and build with heavy weights and work from there. As soon as I finish the meet, I want to do a couple weeks of really high rep stuff, like I had done before in the winter, or I guess more winter than it is now. But what I had done before with like 10 and 12 reps for a couple weeks to work on that sort of stuff, and then go back to doing more strength stuff. But I'll figure that out more there, and obviously I'll share that all with you as that gets closer and as the meet gets closer. And yeah, that's really about it. So if you have any thoughts or comments, please leave them down below. And as always, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.